The CV gets you the interview, and if you would like to know how to write a professional CV that will make the hiring manager want to read it through over and over, then you better watch this video up to the end, because I'm going to share with you what the recruitment manager is looking for in your CV and what is the structure of a professional CV. And as I finish, I'll give you a bonus tip which will blow your mind off. It will make your job search so easy, you will be surprised. I've been able to help most of my clients with this simple advice. Take a look at this email that I received from Lawrence. Dear Daniel, I'm happy to inform you that after you guys reviewed my resume, I received 3 different calls for interviews within a span of 24 hours. Within a span of 1 week, I attended all the interviews, and fortunately enough, I secured all the 3 jobs. This was after a pregnant search for a job for 1 whole year. I only had the difficult task choosing which one to go for, but eventually I opted for one and politely and professionally declined the other 2. Thanks a great deal, and please convey my gratitude to your entire team. Yours sincerely, Lawrence. Without further ado, let's get started. Mutuku Show, where I help professionals succeed in their career. And if this is your first time here, I would like to ask you, please subscribe to my channel, press the bell button so you can get to know each and every time I release a new video. As we start, I think it is important for us to define what is a professional CV. Unfortunately, most people have CVs, which is just a documentation of where they went to school, the courses they did, where they have worked, and a list of the responsibilities. And if you are a fresh graduate, there's very little for you to put in there. However, a professional CV is a document that you use to market yourself. Think about any company that has a product or a service and they want it to be consumed by the public. What do? They will advertise on newspaper, radio, TV, billboards. But we don't have the luxury of having a billboard about ourselves and our skills. We use a professional CV. You also need to be very clear on what is it that you're selling in your CV. You're selling your skills, your capabilities, your experience, your qualifications to the employer. So how you put them across is very important. According to a famous study, it is said that on average, the hiring manager takes about 6 seconds or less to decide if they're going to read through your CV or they will throw it in the bin. I want you to take a look at this CV here. This is what most CV layout look like. The information, can you be able to gather what this person can do? As I can see, yes, it's Daniel Mutuku, male, Kenyan, married, date of birth, ID number. All this information is very important information to you. However, it does not say anything about your ability to do work, what value you're bringing on board. So it is important for you to think about how do you structure your professional CV. That leads me to the second bit of the video where I want to share with you the structure of a professional CV. As you start writing your professional CV, the first thing that should appear on top of that document is your contact details. Now, your contact details, you only need to put in your name, your email address, and your phone number. That is the quickest way for the hiring manager to contact you, to invite you for an interview. You don't need to put in your postal address. In this day and age, I'm yet to see someone who was invited for an interview through a letter from the post office. It doesn't happen. So that information at this point, you don't need to put it in your CV. It will just be consuming valuable space in your CV. Actually, what is on your front page of your CV, or what we call above the fold of your CV. The second section that you need to have is a personal profile. I want to suggest to you to get rid of the career objectives section in your CV and put in a personal branding statement. This is your personal profile. It is a short paragraph explaining or summarizing like your whole career. What are your skills? What are your qualifications? What are your experiences? What is your value and what are you bringing on board? It is very short and precise, but its main aim is to pique the curiosity of the reader so that they would want to read through the whole document. The section that you need in your CV, and I think this is the most overlooked section, is the skills section. You should be able to list and have a more detailed section of your skills, trying to include both the soft skills like communication skills, problem solving skills, and hard skills, which are very specific to your career line. It beats logic to include that you have good communication skills, and yet from your CV you're not able to communicate clearly what value you're bringing on board. So you need to be very careful and think through the kind of skills that you're putting across. Another very important section is the work experience, and most people do it wrong. How do you do it right? First, you list your work experience in reverse chronological order, starting with the latest position going to the older ones. Now, if you have a lot of experience, the latest 3 positions that you held, you should be able to give a little bit more details, and the rest of the older position you can just list them in bullet points or in a very brief manner. Now, when you're listing again your work experience, state the year, the duration that you were there, name of the organization, and the position that you held. Instead of jumping straight and listing down the responsibilities that you had, why not be unique and put in your achievements? Now, achievements are what sets you apart. You might have 2 individuals working in the same organization for the same period of time in the same position, but they will have very different achievements. This is what sets you apart. So think about what are some of the achievements that you have had in that position. When you're thinking about achievement, think about saving costs, increasing revenue, or saving time, improving efficiency of a process, or even helping out a client. There's a very big difference between achievement and responsibilities. Achievement are things that you did that had a great impact to the company or to a client, while responsibilities are things that are done by anyone in that position. They're not very different or unique to you. Another section that you need to include in a professional CV is the qualification section. And here you just list the different qualifications that you have. If you are a very qualified person, you just pick out the most relevant qualification or the recent qualification. I don't expect someone with a PhD listing like where they went for their primary school. I'm sure there's nothing you're taught in primary school or secondary school that has a direct impact in your ability to work probably at that particular point. If you are a recent graduate, you can give more information about your qualification. Just like work experience, your qualification should be listed in reverse chronological order, starting with the latest going towards the older qualifications. Another section, again, this is another overlooked section, is additional information. In this section, you include anything and everything that is going to add value to your application. It might not be very directly related to the position that you're applying to or your career field, but it has a professional look at it. Think about any awards, any certifications that you have received, recognition, project, publication, seminars, workshop, conferences, anything that you have done in your professional life that is going to add value and give you that added advantage compared to any other candidates. So it is very important for you to think through what are some of the other additional information that you can be able to add here. Sometimes you can also include your hobbies and interests. They don't really add much value, but if your interests and hobbies have a relationship with the kind of job that you're looking for, it would be important also to include them here. Think about if you're applying for a writing job and one of your hobbies is that you have a blog, you're running a blog, then that would really add value to your application and to your CV. So I jump to my bonus tip. I want to say this. Here at Career Point Solutions, we offer free CV review, and recently we started offering free career coaching session. So if you are interested in taking advantage of this free service, I would ask you to head over to www.careerpoint.co.ke/CV review, submit your CV for a free review, and also book a session where one of our coaches will give you a call and you can be able to discuss what are your career goals and how we can help you get there as you surpass the current challenges that you are facing. And now to the bonus tip. You need to use keywords in your CV. Keywords are phrases or words that you use in your CV that will make it easier for the application tracking system, ATS software, to be able to pick up your CV. Now, companies are using the ATS, which is a software that enables them to filter the enormous number of applications they receive. So it is a software that tries to pick up keywords, comparing keywords in your CV and the job description, and there are different types of keywords that you might want to consider including in your CV. In the description of this video, I've put in a link to an article where I explain the different types of keywords that you will need to consider putting it in your CV and how they can be able to help you stand out, beat the competition, and of course they are very friendly to the ATS software. So take a look at this other video on how to apply for a job by email. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment and share it with your friends so that they can get the value that you have just gotten out of this video.